Alright, part two, enrichment kiddos. So making a multiple line graph I think is pretty similar. I've definitely gotten myself in a situation where I have things backwards. So we always talk about the independent and dependent variables here. Your independent variable is going to be your test, so we need that on our horizontal axis. Your dependent variables are going to be your test scores. So that's going to be on our vertical axis. So sometimes it likes to flip those, and I'm not sure why, but basically it's the same thing. Highlight your data, insert chart, and if you get lucky, I did not. Okay, so you see that we have something messy looking over here. So it's kind of up in the air whether a bar graph or a line graph actually is appropriate here. I personally don't like a bar graph. I think this just looks messy. I think it looks really, really messy. So you can kind of play around with some stuff down here just to kind of see. It can be interesting to play around with stuff. I prefer a line graph for this data. So once you click line, it looks a little bit more sane or more familiar. So we're going to again run through our customized tabs, but we have to be more careful this time because we have a lot more to play with, a lot more variables. So our chart style, we're keeping that the same. Nothing's really going to change there. Chart axis and title. So let's run through everything here. So our chart title, obviously we don't even have a chart title. So we definitely need to put one in here. So we're going to do test scores for Finding Nemo. Pretty much anything will work there. Again, I like to center stuff. I just think it looks a little bit nicer. If you want to do a subtitle, that's fine. You don't need one in this one. Our horizontal axis title, so that's down here. You can see that we don't have a title. So you absolutely need to have one. So we're going to have test name because that's what it is. They took the same test that we did. Scientific inquiry, cells, genetics, classification, blah, 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 blah. So leave the rest of that junk. We don't have a vertical axis title either, so we absolutely need to put one. So over here we need to do test score, and it's important to include your unit in your dependent variable. And our unit here is going to be our percent. So this is a 0% all the way up to 100%. So once you're done there, close that out. Series. This is where things get a little bit more messy. So now you have 3 different series. You have Dory, Nemo, Marlin. So if you want to change everything at once, right here, let's say you want to make them thinner lines. Cool. Let's say you want to make them real thick. It's going to be ugly. Okay, I would keep it at 2. Point size, we don't need. Point shape, don't need. Nothing like that. But if you want to really highlight and you really want to emphasize Dory, maybe you want to make Dory a little bit thicker. Because you're like, look how great Dory did. She's been studying for so long. I'm going to keep them all at 0.2. It's totally fine if you mess with stuff. It's not a big deal. This one, we need a legend. It's up to you. I'm not going to be mad no matter where you put it. So typically it defaults to auto. You can pick all over the place. You can put it down here at the bottom. You can put it on the left. I don't like that. You can put it on the right. I do like that. I typically do put it on the right. You can put it inside, so smushed in there. I think that's ugly, but that's just me. Whatever you want. I'm going to put mine on the right because I like it, but feel free to go crazy with that. We should have most of this stuff set. Yeah, okay. So slant labels, auto, because we have long words here, depending on how you want this to look, you can slant them at different angles. So you can have 90 degrees, 60 degrees, none degrees, but that's just same as auto. So because our words are kind of long, they're going to get cut off, and that's perfectly fine. The only thing you can kind of do to kind of fix that is you can come over here and you can shorten these words. And if you change it to just class part 1, then it'll actually show up the whole way. So that's just kind of a trick you got to catch on to, is if things look like they're getting cut off. There you go. See it flipped around. Nice. If you ever click out of it by accident, I didn't show you this, click on these 3 little dots right here and click edit chart, and that'll bring you back into your customize. Okay. So vertical axis. Here again, we kind of have that same problem we had last time. All of our numbers are smushed up here, and it looks like our bottomest score is around a 60. So I'm going to change my minimum value to a 60 so that we can more easily see, hey, no one actually failed any of these tests and someone got really close to passing. So it allows us to see, get out of there, a little bit better. Nope. Stop clicking things. Okay, easy enough. Grid lines, I definitely like to keep them for this case. Yep, easy enough. Okay. So, I got lucky. Hopefully you do too. I got lucky with this one. It actually turned out pretty nice and easy. We didn't have to flip anything around. If you do it and you do have to flip stuff around, let me know. I'll help you out. But it takes like 2 seconds. I mean, look, I don't know if you can actually see the time. I'm at 5 minutes and 43 seconds. I just did a graph with 7 points times 3 people. I just did a graph with 21 points in 5 minutes. If you would have done that by hand on paper and pencil, that easily would have taken you probably half an hour, and you guys are my quickest workers typically. So graphing online is super duper easy, and after you guys learn this skill, for the rest of the school year, if you all want to do all of your graphs online, I am perfectly fine with that. If Miss Sewell yells at you for whatever reason, just have her come talk to me. I'll take the heat. I'll take the blame. But graphing online is a super easy, super cool thing to do. And if you can really nail this and get this in your head how easy it is, you're going to excel in high school. You're going to be very marketable in college and jobs or wherever life takes you. So definitely make sure you do that. Complete this worksheet. I think it's about done. I gotta read it over. Hand it in when you are finished. I might have you print some of these graphs. So if you need to do that, you're gonna come to print. Hold on, I have to figure this out as we go. Ooh, download as, and then I would download it as a PDF, and it's gonna bring it down here for you. And then you can very easily just print it from there, and it'll be really pretty. There you go. You can get all fancy and maybe click this button. Oh, look how pretty it is. So I might have you print something at some point. So definitely just look at this worksheet, figure out where you need to go from here. I think that's it. If you need help, raise your hand.